Hey there and welcome back to The Sims 3. My name is Pete and today we complete another episode of this attempt to fully complete The Sims 3 World Adventures. Last time we left off, after recruiting the teenager Fabien Couderas to our adventuring party, we lost about 15,000 simoleons, paying off his parents and finding them a new home, and we completed our first adventure with Uni Iroki, who explored 2 tombs in Shang Simla. After selling off some of the stuff she collected, we can now send some gold away to be smelted and then jump over to Sanat Hooja. No surprise here, today it is his turn to go adventuring. And of course, Sanat will return to his home in Simhara, a 3-day trip costing 1,600 simoleons, leaving our funds in serious need of an increase. Upon his arrival in Simhara, Sanat fulfills the wish to travel abroad and earns enough lifetime happiness points to purchase his first lifetime reward. Again, no surprise, it'll be Jet Setter. Then he approaches the adventuring board, and this first quest here we want to accept. The MorcuCorp corporation is offering work in Simhara, dangerous but profitable. For a sim sporting the brave, athletic and ambitious traits, that sounds absolutely perfect. So, we begin what is going to be a lengthy quest chain by reporting to Abdal Masan, as always named after a channel supporter of mine, and Abdal offers an introductory test, cleaning up after him if you will. He left some papers in the Tomb of Discovery and wants us to find them. He also hands us 5 morsels of dried food, those will come in handy, and the aforementioned tomb itself is then actually right behind the Simhara base camp. Some stairs lead down into it, and after a plaque once again tells us that any good adventurer brings food and a tent on a lengthy tomb exploration, we can already grab the first bit of loot. Some ancient coins and a keystone to open the door ahead of us. There's also a door on the side here, but that one will remain locked for now. The next bit then is easy. A pressure plate reveals some stairs that lead further down, and next to a not at all disconcerting skeleton, another plate opens the path onwards. What follows is a simple statue puzzle. Uni already solved several of those last episode, so we drag the statue onto the right spot. Just like last episode, all of this also benefits Sanat's athletic skill, and shortly after, the next door is unlocked. In the next room, rinse and repeat. Only one of the 3 statues here can be moved, but that's enough. The second pressure plate can be stood upon. So far, so easy. And yes, that's it already. The first tomb is complete, and Sanat receives a further 1,500 lifetime happiness points. Opening the glowing chest here also fulfills the wish to uncover a hidden door, while the chest itself contains the MorcuCorp documents, as well as a canopic jar. Our old adventurer William Picking already found one a little earlier, this now number 2. Pushing open the hidden door then takes a moment, but reveals more treasure, some more ancient coins and the tomb's sigil relic. Up the stairs then, and we now find ourselves behind that side door leading back into the first room. A chest contains 10 copper ingots, but don't get too excited. In total, they're not even worth 500 simoleons. So, here we are. The door has been unlocked, the first tomb has been fully explored. We can now return to Abdal Masan and hand over the documents. Let's see what else he's got for us.
Sasame bonita. Sheepo. Nibagi?
Now, apart from more dried food and some visa points, Abdal does not have anything else for us. Instead, he tells us to report to his lackey, Sanat Hooja, none other than Sanat's mother. Named after Patreon supporter Chimay, she is actually Sanat's only parent. No father exists in the game for him. Maybe another reason why the offer to live with William Picking sounded intriguing to Sanat.
Varble flans mana. Samay. Shubad?
Now at this point, the quest chain takes an interesting turn. Sanat's mother Chimay seems rather critical of MorcuCorp, not to mention that apparently the corporation has failed to pay some of the locals. Therefore, we are now tasked with collecting some gemstones for turquoise. As you can see, they are readily available on the world map to be collected. They are also not really the most valuable type of gemstone with a value of 60 to 70 simoleons. So it's not really worth collecting more than we need for the quest. Sanat will only be grabbing one extra, just for the sake of a complete collection. And with the night already setting above Al Simhara, it is time to return to his mother. Once again, this quest chain has only just begun.
Huh? Wishwa?
Right, up next we once again pursue some of Chimay's concerns about MorcuCorp, which seem to reflect the concerns of the locals, 3 of whom we need to speak to now to get a clearer picture. Since a little bit of a reputation needs to be built for this, the easiest way to begin is by heading to Sanat's old family home and talking to his grandmother Lithariana, named after another Patreon supporter. She tells him that she wishes MorcuCorp would leave and names several conspiracy theories as a reason. Let's see what her friend Nagaina Thunkalatha has to say, named after channel member Nagaina and Patreon supporter Orilo Thunkalatha, her in-game husband. Our adventurer Sanat is thankfully blessed with the charismatic trait, so a few jokes and compliments later, he gets some info out of Nagaina. She too is no fan of MorcuCorp, stating its members' creepy laugh as the reason. Well, the 2 ladies haven't been entirely convincing yet. Let's hear what the neighbor has to say, Rami Spooey, another Patreon supporter and living alone next door. He too quickly falls for Sanat's charm, but only offers the same reason as Nagaina a few moments ago. I guess that's all we have. Conspiracies and creepy laughs. Let's see if Chimay can work with that.
Zitop! Miho! Zibadu. Maha? Wishwa?
Right, Chimay offers the next part of the quest. We are to enter the Tomb of Burning Sands to harvest 5 flame fruit from within. This tomb is located inside one of Al Simhara's pyramids, and it will present the perfect opportunity for Sanat to fulfill his wish to sleep inside a tomb. So, dead tired, he makes the trek over there and opens the door to gain entry. However, another wish has formed in the meantime, easy to fulfill at that. Sanat wants to take a picture of the pyramid, and since we need to take one anyway to complete one of the several photography collections in the game, let's quickly take a snapshot. Then it's back into the tomb, and before we interact with anything in here, let's place the tent and have Sanat take a good night's rest. On the following morning, a quick pemmican breakfast is followed by unlocking the first door inside the tomb. The room we slept in will be ignored for now. It will come into play much later. The keystone unlocks a door, in the room behind it a well, and barely visible on the floor behind that, a trap. Conveniently, Sanat wishes to disable one, so let's get to it. The job is swiftly completed. Now able to safely pass over the trap, Sanat jumps into the well in the next chamber, only to find a hidden switch at the bottom a few moments later, unlocking another door. Before we head through, let's quickly get rid of the rubble pile in the corner here, already taking note of the oppressive heat in the tomb, quickly lowering Sanat's hygiene bar. Nonetheless, in my opinion, it's really not worth bringing a shower in the can, as hygiene is arguably the least problematic need of your Sims, and this tomb is quite long, so you'd likely need multiple. Now, after recovering a valuable dropper stone, Sanat goes through the door, a pressure plate then opens up a shortcut back to the entrance. The first well over here, by the way, only useful to get soaked if you want to cross the trap without disarming it. Finding the hidden door fulfills another wish, and with that, let's get one level deeper. Here we find some flame fruit bushes. Unfortunately though, only 2 are ripe for the harvest, and with each bush only yielding 2 fruits, we end up 1 shy of what we need. However, we wouldn't have turned back at this point anyway, so let's keep going by pushing a statue to disable another fire trap and pick up some more ancient coins to fulfill another wish. Another statue then disables another fire trap, but before we advance, there is a hidden door at the beginning of this corridor, revealed by a wall that can be interacted with. Admittedly, you're not missing out on much here, just a single treasure chest, and the relic inside also only worth 56 simoleons. So, moving on, before exploring the well on the right, we first turn left to remove 2 more rubble piles. The first containing a chest, the second some ancient coins. A pressure plate also opens a hidden shortcut back to the stairs. That fulfills another wish, but we are far from done yet, so let's collect the loot, including a well fragment, and then jump into one complete well ourselves. While Sanat enjoys at least a tiny boost to his hygiene, he also discovers a tunnel, and going through has him emerge next to a blazing inferno in a room filled with statues. Since only 2 can be moved, we need to push the one outside the ring of fire onto a trap to disable it, before we can then put it onto its pressure plate, and with the path through the flames now open, the second statue can be dragged where we need it to be. Before we complete that task, however, Sanat also discovers another hidden door, behind it another well. We'll explore that in just a second. For now, let's put statue number 2 into position. The well then once again unlocks a secret door at the back of the small room, inside a lone treasure chest containing the fragment of a pushable statue. The 2 in the room, meanwhile, are where they're supposed to be, so let's step onto the pressure plate and unlock the door onwards. More fire in the next room, but also more flame fruit, so let's at least harvest what we need before we continue to explore. This room then also has not 1 but 2 hidden doors, the one on the right leading past a fire trap and towards another well. Meanwhile, after collecting some more treasure, Sanat discovers that the one on the left seems a little more harmless, that is, until we inspect the floor here and find another trap. Since another convenient wish to disable one has popped up, we quickly complete it and then proceed into the room behind, this one too containing a well and 2 piles of rock rubble. After clearing the bigger one, Sanat has earned himself a snack of dried food, before he then finds a cut gemstone in the chest behind it. Clearing the second rubble pile, meanwhile, only reveals some ancient coins, while a third path is blocked by a giant boulder, and the game is quick to tell us that a magical item from China is needed to destroy it. So, no advancing here, let us instead dive down into the well, although apart from getting soaked, that does not achieve anything. Thus, it's back through the flame fruit chamber and towards the well on the other side. The wall here can be inspected, revealing another fire trap, a convenient find with yet another wish to disarm one appearing. With this trap cleared, the second one is disabled through a hole in the wall, and Sanat can access yet another dive well. This one leads into the room adjacent, 2 more fire traps in this one, but they are not blocking or protecting anything, therefore we can simply leave them be and step onto the pressure plates. This opens the door ahead, containing a single treasure chest with a keystone inside, but at least so far there is no hole to be seen. Instead, the other door here is opened by stepping onto a second pressure plate that has just appeared, and then onto a third one. Going through the door, the game now officially considers the tomb completed, but there is a bit more to discover still. First of all, though, let's loot an emerald-cut rainbow gem, very valuable, likely even more so than the 13 copper ingots here. Now, just for the sake of showing this off quickly, if we take the stairs back up here, we can activate a pressure plate that would lead us back to the starting area of the tomb, the entrance up ahead and to the left, but like I said, we are not done yet, so let's head back down, swim back through the tunnel connecting the 2 wells here, and harvest some more flame fruit. We currently only have 6, 5 of them will be lost when turning in the quest, and since flame fruit are quite useful in producing powerful food and drink items, we want to harvest all that is left here. Afterwards then, we finally use the door at the end of the room, only to discover another set of stairs. Going up brings Sanat into a very similar looking corridor leading back to the starting area, only this one has a rubble pile to chip away at, a treasure chest with a gemstone hidden inside. By standing on the pressure plate then, we open another hidden door and can now freely walk back out of this absolute maze of a tomb back into the room we started in. The tent has already been placed in there, and since it is way past 4 in the morning on our last day of travel, Sanat has earned himself some sleep. Now, on the next morning, we work on Sanat's photography skill, or rather on the travel collection, for which we take pictures of a statue, a sarcophagus, and a pile of rubble. This travel collection is one of many photography collections, and I am honestly still debating whether or not I really want to complete them all. Some can be very tricky and might require multiple videos just for the setup. Now, after taking a picture of the freed up floor switch, Sanat can drag a statue on top of it, revealing a hidden room with coins and a treasure chest, both motifs that are still missing from the collection. The chest then contains another valuable Dropper stone, while a quick look inside Sanat's skill journal tells us that there are still a lot of pictures left to be taken to complete the travel collection, but Egypt is also the prime destination to find most of them, so we best get to it. The 2 sarcophagi in the room here can, by the way, safely be opened to reveal some loot. If there was a mummy inside, we would have noticed it by now. Clearing the other rock pile then allows access to a wall switch that reveals a secret staircase. Going down, we find another chest. The crescent keystone from within is technically not even needed because we found another one a little earlier. Either way, we now have all we need to open the door ahead. What lies beyond is, most importantly for now, another impassable giant boulder that Sanat can photograph for the collection, only to discover afterwards that the path towards the next door is trapped. In this case, that's actually good because the trap is another part of the travel collection, and so is the Torch of Anubis here, right behind the dive well, which surprisingly is not. That well we then also want to explore, as it opens a hidden door to circumvent the floor trap, although with Sanat's reoccurring wish to disable one, we will come back to it later. The last chamber then filled with 6 treasure chests and an ominous sarcophagus at the end of the room. First of all though, let's grab the loot, a fragment for the sarcophagus of kings, so that we can perhaps one day build one of our own, some money bags that we can sell for a much needed cash influx, more ancient coins, bringing our total close to 1,000, gemstones and another sarcophagus fragment, and another relic. Opening this last chest then also triggers the sarcophagus, or rather its inhabitant, a mummy that Sanat swiftly wants to move away from. Thankfully, Sims move a lot faster than mummies. Now, to inexperienced explorers, mummies can be very dangerous. Nonetheless, we want to photograph it. This is a rare occurrence and part of another collection. Although Sanat's wish to fight it, we definitely won't fulfill. The mummy snack in his inventory would prevent it anyway, and while there is another photo opportunity for catching a mummy that's eating, I have found that it's pretty difficult to get that to trigger, and the clock on our final adventuring day here is ticking down, so instead we just remove another rock pile, disarm that floor trap for a few more lifetime happiness points, grab the ancient coins from the rubble, and then, finally, after 2 full days inside the tomb, we leave the pyramid. Before going home, however, we stop by the Sphinx real quick to snap another picture, this one too part of the travel collection, and also part of an opportunity that William Picking still has active back home. Then we return to Sanat's mother Shimei and turn in the quest.
Sasame bonita. Shibo. Nibagi?
With the flame fruits delivered, we earn 900 simoleons and advance to visa level 1, and the next job is given right away. We need to talk to Silviana Musan, Abdal Musan's wife, and named after patron supporter Silviana. Before we do, however, Sanat quickly visits the market to fulfill a wish and to purchase a shower in the can from general goods merchant Izirina Doiran. We add the local Simhara incense holder, this one providing a simple +10 mood boost, very useful in pretty much any room and situation. A lucky find, Sanat also captures the couple of Hamza Fajala and his wife Mendoza, both named after channel supporters, while they're having dinner, fulfilling the requirements for the Lovers in Egypt motif. Finally, Sanat approaches special merchant Ketevan Moraes to purchase 5 more pemmican morsels. And yes, I know we have plenty of ancient coins and could afford more, but once we reach visa level 2, some much more expensive items will become available, so we're not going to spend too many coins on other things for now. To wrap up the day, let us then approach Silviana Musan. Once again, we will need to build some rapport here before she is willing to tell us anything more about MorcuCorp, but young Sanat is a charming fellow. He actually improves his charisma skill to level 3 in this conversation, and Silviana soon tells him what he wants to know.
Zimadu. Maha? Wushwa.
Apparently, there is an ancient library hidden inside a home in town containing the information we seek. That library is in fact right next door, but with only 3 hours remaining in our journey, we won't have enough time to fully explore it. What we do have just barely enough time for, however, is a stop by Abu Simbel, another part of the travel photography collection, leaving us with only 7 subjects left in it. For today though, Sanat can end the trip a few minutes early and return to our small adventuring home in Riverview. And while Uni is busy breaking boards, Fabien reads up on the nectar-making skill and William roasts marshmallows, another episode of Sims 3 World Adventures comes to an end, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would be very happy if you could leave a thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing and want to support me and my channel further, then you can of course go ahead and subscribe to stay up to date, grab some merch over on shop.petecomplete.com, or become a YouTube channel member or Patreon supporter. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.